BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to BodyBags. It's week 179, and I'm your Sunday host, Bourgie86 here again. Yes, it's that time again of the Sunday review, and it's also Super Bowl Sunday, so whatever team you guys are rooting for today, hopefully it turns out good for you, and good luck, and have some fun, have some food, beers, whatever. I know I will be, so have some fun. Now, this week, of course, is a theme week, and it's one that my co-host, Matt, aka You and Your Horror Movies, chose. And it was a very interesting one when we were first discussing about doing this, because, of course, this week is Animation Week, and I never reviewed an animated film before. And I thought it would be a fun way to try to look at like an animated film the same way as like a live action film in a way, because they do have like the stories and the stuff that all other films have, and it just takes a lot more time and work and heart into putting, like, because you'd have to draw all these things and make them and make the animation work with the story. So I thought it would be very interesting to do that with like horror in general, because there's a lot of like different types of like horror films. There's like the kid friendly, and there's not the not so kid friendly one, which is the one that I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today, of course. And it's a film from 1987, and it goes by the title of Wicked City. This film is directed by Yoshiaki Karajawa. If you don't know his work, most notably he directed, of course, Wicked City and Ninja Scroll and Demon City Shinjuku. And if you haven't seen our Thursday host's review, Abby, he actually reviewed Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, which is also from this director. So he has a very great like stacked filmography of like films that he done that I actually love, and I forgot how much I love Karajawi's filmmaking style with his animation until I revisited this one today. This plot is very simple, so I'm going to give you a brief synopsis. We're introduced to our main character, Taki, who is, and when we first meet him, he's under the disguise as like this electronics super specialist, but unbeknownst, his real job is he is a member of the Black Guard, who guards our world of humans from this parallel universe where they're encountering demons that are very human-like in nature when you first see them, but they have like weird like elements, and they're not really human as you can see their full surface of what they really are. And there's like this peace treaty that goes on every like few years, hundreds of years, and it's time to re-sign this peace treaty. And Taki's mission is to guard Giuseppe Maillard, who's this old, elderly, like psychic, like being who is there to sign the peace treaty, pretty much. And Taki takes the job, but he is partnered up with his new partner, who is Maki, who is a female of the dark world. She's actually one of these demon-like creatures that has taken over and takes over to fight against her own kind. So that's a very interesting aspect, and they haven't been partnered up before. And it's pretty much them trying to protect Maillard before this peace treaty against these dark world radicals, as they're called in the film, which kind of have like similarities to like John Carpenter's The Thing, like some of their effects. So it's pretty much them trying to save Maillard throughout the film. Now, my thoughts on this film. Very interesting characters in this one. Of course, when we first meet Taki, you could find out like he's like a player, like a ladies' man. He always takes bets on if he can score girls at bars, and that's what happens in the beginning of the movie. He scores a girl and has sex with her, who ends up being like this demon lady chick that we see later in the film. And it's fucking awesome, like her transformation and what she really is. And there's a lot of like weird like body horror like elements, like there's a lot of like phallic symbols with like tentacles in this film, which dwells more into like the hentai subgenre of like animation and different types of subgenres of horror films to become, or like animation or Japanese films per se, with like their hentai subculture. But this ain't like a full blown hentai film because it's not really like a pornographic film. There is like scenes of like nudity and stuff in this film as it progresses, and a lot of fucked up disturbing things, including what happens to like Maki's character. There's a lot of fucked up things that happens to her character in particular that involves like phallic symbols and demon rape pretty much. But Maillard's really the weirdest character of all when he's introduced in the film, because at one minute he's like, when we see him, he's like this weird, like sexually frustrated, like 200-year-old being, kind of mixed with like Yoda in a way, and he's very horny in a way. Like his character just comes off as like a hornball, just like with like reading pornographic magazines and like just wanting to go get a brothel and get a girl, and he's trying to hit on Maki and stuff. It's kind of a very odd character. And then later on in the film, he's like, "Oh, it's all your guys' faults." When Taki goes to try to save Maki, she should have been nicer to me, like being like a wicked asshole. But it's pretty much his own fault that they got into like the situation to begin with. So it was kind of like an odd stance of like that character's arcs that I didn't really care for in the film, but I still enjoyed the film even with those arcs intact, because it was kind of funny seeing like this weird little old like horny like Yoda type character in the film, you know what I'm saying? But I just didn't like how his arcs as a character went until the end. I actually did like the arc at the end, but it still didn't kind of make sense with like what his character was about if you think about it, like with like all the interaction, what he puts these two through. But yeah, if you are a big fan of Johnny Copper's The Thing and you like anime, this has like fucking thing like fucking creatures in it. It's fucking awesome. There's even like a scene that they really did take from like John Copper's The Thing, where like the head and the eyeballs, that type of deal. But it's fucking awesome. I really do enjoy the effects and how they did with the animation of creating like these different kinds of creatures and the effects of putting in their transformations. And I do like the soundtrack. It has a very 80s synth soundtrack to it. Like, of course, this film is from the 80s, and it really takes place, like, there's, like, scenes where, like, Taki is, like, smoking and, like, this crazy, like, new wave, like, fucking 80s synth score starts playing whenever he lights a cigarette, and it's fucking awesome. He's just a total badass, and he just kicks ass. And it's kind of weird, too, with his character, delving into it, that he's a human character, but he takes fucking a lot of damage in this film as the film progresses. But it's like one of those weird like plot things that you just gotta go with to get going with the story. But this film is hella fun. It's one of my favorite anime films of all time. And if you haven't seen it and you're a fan of like body horror type things, you have to see it. It's fucking awesome and fun as hell. And not for kids, I'll just put that out there. If you have small children, this one's not for kids, so don't watch it. It's just fucking fun as all hell, though, if you're a fan of like horror films in general. So if I had to rate Wicked City, probably just gonna give it like a solid 8.5 out of 10, just because of like the weird like character arcs and story buildings that go into it. That is probably my only main gripe with the film as a whole. But it's a super fun film with awesome effects, awesome creatures, a lot of awesome sex stuff that goes on in it. But yeah, but check it out. Wicked City, awesomeness from 1987. Alright guys, that's it for this review. We'll be back next week with more random reviews. Interesting, we already know what the theme week is, but I'll let you guys know when it comes online for February. So we'll see you then. Peace out.